Hello! Most likely you use wheat flour in something in your daily life. Even if you don't use it to make a cake or pancakes, sometimes you eat bread or pasta that contains wheat flour. Today I'm going to tell you about a type of flour that you can use to replace wheat flour in many of these recipes. In all of them, I would say, which will have up to 4 times more fiber, twice as much protein, and a much more stable metabolic response. Music. It's great for weight loss, for blood sugar, for your gut. Stick around until the end. You won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you if you use wheat flour in your daily life, or if you've replaced it with another type of flour. If so, which flour do you use the most? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video because that really helps me out, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or who needs it. Let's grow our chain of kindness. That's what I want here with this channel. Before I start telling you about this other flour, which is much healthier, I just want to explain that wheat flour isn't bad for us only because of the glucose spike. Of course, it turns into sugar very quickly in our bodies. Its carbohydrate molecules are broken down by salivary enzymes almost immediately, allowing glucose to enter the bloodstream at a speed that can be comparable to regular table sugar, including refined white sugar. And the pancreas responds with a flood of insulin to remove that sugar from the blood since it entered so quickly. And since insulin is an anabolic hormone, one that stores and accumulates, it immediately blocks lipolysis, the burning of fat, and signals the body to store it, mainly here, in the visceral, central, abdominal region. So it's terrible for blood sugar control. It's terrible for the liver, especially if you have fatty liver. So wheat flour really is not recommended. In addition, we also know about the impact that wheat flour has on intestinal permeability and the gut microbiota. Even for those who are not celiac, refined wheat flour can be problematic because modern wheat has been heavily genetically modified and is very rich in gliadin. Studies suggest that gliadin can stimulate the release of a protein that regulates the gateways of our intestine, leaving the body with that increased intestinal permeability that can be so harmful, potentially contributing to low-grade systemic inflammation, that chronic recurring inflammatory state that persists throughout the body over time. Furthermore, another detail that people sometimes don't know is that for our body to metabolize the carbohydrates from white flour, it needs cofactors, B-complex vitamins, and minerals. And often, since it doesn't have these nutrients, it's white, it's empty, it's refined, it's processed, bleached. It actually steals these nutrients in order to be metabolized. So it still has this harmful effect. In addition to the issue of hedonic hunger, the dopamine cycle in which wheat flour triggers a response in the reward center of our brain, it really stimulates dopamine production and causes that rebound hunger due to the insulin spike and the drop in glucose. Music. So it messes everything up. It disrupts our psychological state, our physiology, and our metabolism as a whole. So ideally, we should reduce our consumption of white, refined, bleached, and processed wheat flour as much as possible in our daily lives. So the flour you can use as a substitute for wheat flour is chickpea flour. It already starts with a difference since it is made from chickpeas, which are a legume. The carbohydrate has a completely different absorption rate because it comes with fiber, with protein, and also with bioactive compounds. Music. So this impacts 3 systems. It impacts the blood sugar control system because since it contains fiber and soluble fibers, they form a gel in your digestive system, slow down gastric emptying, and decrease the rate of glucose absorption. And the intestine can also change the issue of metabolism because fibers are fermented by intestinal bacteria, generating short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate, for example, which improves insulin sensitivity, enhances the gut flora, reduces inflammation, and strengthens the intestinal barrier. Unlike wheat flour, which leaves more permeable, it strengthens and keeps the intestine functioning as it should. In addition to containing a very impressive amount of protein compared to wheat flour, with twice the protein of wheat flour, it stimulates the satiety hormone, such as GLP-1, which is related to weight loss injections, And there's also the satiety effect of protein itself, as well as the thermic effect of the protein it contains, which can help you burn more energy just to metabolize it. So when used correctly, chickpea flour has high-quality fiber, interesting protein, a very pleasant taste, and we can basically use it in anything we would use wheat flour for. Another very important point is that since it comes from a legume, chickpea flour does not contain gluten, so it is suitable for consumption by people with celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Before we dive into how to use chickpea flour in your daily routine, if you're looking for more tips on weight loss, blood sugar control, reducing inflammation, I've put together some amazing playlists for you. They are packed with easy, nutritious, low-carb, and low-calorie recipes. I'll leave the links to these playlists down below in the description. So finally, where can you use chickpea flour? I can tell you that I've already made recipes with basically everything possible here. You can even make chocolate cake, pancakes, mini pies, large pies, I don't even know. It's so many things. It's really very tasty, versatile, mild. It goes well with both sweet and savory flavors. I suggest you give it a try. If you can't find it at your local supermarket, buy it online because it's not a particularly expensive flour. After all, it's made from chickpeas, and it's very versatile. I have a playlist here with chickpea recipes. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Let me know down below if you've already used it, or if you're going to start using it. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, as that really helps me out, and share it with anyone you think could benefit from this information. Let's spread this chain of kindness. That's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.